Hi, welcome back to Zoke. In this tutorial, we're going to talk about how to use the Arduino, the serial monitor, and more importantly, math to accomplish different purposes. The first program, all you're going to need is your Arduino plugged into the computer so we can access the serial monitor. But in the second program, we're going to add a build to it. We're going to just take an LED, throw it in pin 13 and the G and D, and cause a program to run that is called exponential blink, which causes the LED to blink faster and faster and faster, almost like a slow clap. And right now you can see it's blinking, but it's getting faster and faster and faster by a rate of 0.9. Until it speeds up so much, then it starts over. Alright, so come in, let's take a look at the code, and then you can see how to make it. Alright, the first program we're looking at is called Math Fahrenheit to Celsius. And you can see in the serial monitor over here, it spits out this jumble of a mess. We'll talk about that in a second. Inside there, I'm declaring that, or I'm stating that the serial monitor needs to begin at the baud rate of 9600. Not important to the Arduino itself, but to this type of code, to programming in C, we have to use that. That's just there. Now there's math, and it's only 3 lines of code that involves the math, but it's really important. The first thing I'm doing is I'm declaring, well, actually we're going to start with 32 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm just making that up. I know 32 degrees Fahrenheit is going to be 0 degrees Celsius. I'm going to re-upload that so it shows the number. Since that's 0 degrees Celsius, this equation should convert that number, 32, into Celsius. Alright, I'm declaring that integer degrees C is just going to be there, and you see it spit it out over here now. And then degree C, this equation is going to convert that degrees. Alright, and because programming follows an order operation, I have to use parentheses to distinguish which operation is going first. And I wanted to take the degrees Fahrenheit that I plugged in and subtract 32 degrees from it. And subtraction never goes before multiplication or division, so the parentheses helps the programming to distinguish that. Then I'm going to take that, multiply it by 5, and finally divide it by 9. And there we go. It'll spit out on the serial monitor the degrees of the conversion. Another one that you should learn in school is that 212 degrees Fahrenheit is 100 degrees Celsius. This is the boiling temperature of water. And in Celsius, the boiling temperature of water is 100 degrees Celsius. So it'll run through the code. Have to give it a second so it uploads. You'll notice it kind of has this jumble of mess I mentioned earlier. The serial monitor is not perfect, so if that ever happens to you, once it's uploaded, hit the reset button on your Arduino, which I just did, and now it spits out the degrees in Celsius that 212 is. Now, while converting with your Arduino is not the most important thing in the world, we may need to convert things in the future, but the importance here is knowing how to use equations and math in your programming, because it will exist. Alright, now we're going to take a look at another program. This one's called Exponential Blink. Take your LED, plug it into pin 13, which we've declared here on line 2 of the code. And I've also declared that this delay period is 2,000 milliseconds, so 2 seconds is how long it's starting out. In the setup, I am saying 2 things. I'm saying 1, that serial monitor needs to begin because that's necessary for me to see the numbers, and then 2, the LED is an output, and I just have to declare that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and upload this while I talk about it. The next part, the while loop, is really important here. I'm basically saying do everything inside of this block while this is true, while the delay period is greater than 50. Now, it's starting at 2,000, so it's going to be greater than that. Now you see it starting to spit out numbers over here. It's got a jumble of a mess, but then the next one's 1,800, and that's correct. And that's how long that first delay is. And it's slowly going to get faster over here because that's what I've told my code to do. I'm telling the LED to turn on, wait for that delay period, turn off for the same delay period, and this is the math, this is the equation. I'm saying calculate the delay period as the delay period previously used times 0.9 or times 90%. And then the serial print line is printing it in my monitor over here, so it slowly speeds up. And actually it gets faster and faster and faster and faster. And to the point where it hits 45, which is less than 50, and so it tells it to break out of the while loop, reset the delay to 2,000, and start over. And there you go. We've used 2 programs that involve math and the serial monitor to accomplish a purpose. Now, while that might not be your purpose that you need for your build, understanding how to use math equations is really important, Okay? Now, as an educator myself, I also want to tell you that you should take your math classes seriously so that you can learn all of these things yourself. All right? Good luck with all of your mathematical equations.